Hello, everybody, and welcome to On the Back Cash Perc Talk, where we're back. It's been a minute.
We're back.
It's been a minute. Talk about some percussion stuff and watch some videos and all the drum, hit, ting, ting, boom, booms. So, I'm Cedric, joined with my buddy Will, and today we're going to do a little bit of a encore, maybe revisit. Reprise, but I mean, we want to give them their flowers. So we're gonna go back and watch the Blue Bangers in the Blue Pit.
Going back.
Do a full run of their show. This percussion. Bluecoats a few weeks ago put out a video of a full ensemble percussion run during the finals week, and it's very nicely edited. Audio's chef's kiss on it. So we're going to revisit that and see exactly what they were doing to win the Sanford, because I think what helped them out so much, consistency, man. They just kept plugging, kept getting better. They never peaked. They peaked at the right time, and they took advantage of some things that other groups might not have. So, but we're going to listen to that show today. I'm sure there'll be some things. The cool thing about revisiting some of these shows, because some people sometimes you're like, well, you watched them, like, yeah, but you can't catch everything on the first read. You can't,
right.
And even though I've seen this show a few times, even in this particular video, like some stuff pops out more just because of the way the microphones are set up and all that good stuff. So, we're going to try to we might put the link up in the corner so you can watch along with us if you want to. And we'll give the countdown here in a second. But it will say 3, 2, 1, play. And on play, that's when we hit the play button. So, you all ready to go, man? All right.
Let's get
Bluecoats 22 Percussion Ensemble finals run ensemble with their nice little uniforms. 3, 2, 1, play. So,
I had this trippy dream where this cat was driving me around in an old convertible. Later on, it turned into a VW van, and near the end, it was more like a spaceship kind of thing. We were high up looking over the road, but the front console was shaped like a van, and it still had the convertible top.
So one of the effects I didn't know. Yeah, and
I love that.
People that don't know, I'm visually impaired, so I don't catch a lot of visual stuff. So I didn't know those were bows that was making that. So very, very cool. Dry secco stuff in marimbas.
Yeah.
And this whole show is such a groove. If you can't watch the show and bob your head, you don't have no soul.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, like if you can imagine a cross between Blue and his hopper. That's the dude who was driving.
See, I love stuff like that.
All the way to the end of the run. Very nice opening statement. And then
We were heading due north, coming up to a stoplight.
Right.
The light was beautiful in the dream, with all that nice washed out orange from the pollution. I had this happy feeling in my stomach. also like this scared feeling.
Yeah.
Like
Solid rotations.
I didn't know what. Anyhow, as we approached the light, all of a sudden this cat in a sports car came out of nowhere and just cut us off. My man slammed on the brakes and narrowly averted a mashup. It got my blood boiling, but I wasn't the one driving.
Yeah.
I remember that scene.
The timpani work here is pretty spot on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Switch from drum to drum effortlessly.
Appreciate the mallet players playing snare. This is why we talk about being well-rounded.
Yeah.
There's that metric change. You girl, you better get it.
Bro, I'm telling you. I'd have been called out every rehearsal.
Split harmonic run. Trade off between the drum set and the tenors. I love that. That's so strong.
Yeah, so wouldn't you know it, we pulled right up behind that cat at the light, and there he was, glaring at us through his rear view. He was all like, yeah, that's right, I cut you off. What are you gonna do about it? So I said to Lou Reed /Dennis Hopper, I'll just call him Lou now. Man, aren't you gonna say something to that guy?
Jesus, man. Such a cool moment.
But Lou just looked straight ahead and said, you know, man, the only way I'm gonna put something out there like that is if I'm ready to dance with that cat. You know what I mean? You put something out there, there's consequences, you know? All you've got are your actions, man. And remember, words are actions too. You want to dance with that dude?
I love the attitude and the mood shift in the body from both the front ensemble and the battery.
Yeah.
You can see it in them too.
The performance really is off the chart.
It's so easy to listen to. Bass in the background, understated.
Yeah.
Permutation starting off on the offbeat. Yes. saying much, but you gotta let this one ride. I mean,
You really do.
love those when they do that. Yeah, it's so many little hidden things in there
Moment.
that if you're not paying attention, you can miss.
Yeah. It's the effective.
I was literally sitting here just thinking about they do what's needed to be done for the program.
At first, I thought he was kind of a bad influence.
Yeah.
But actually, he was taking care of me, watching my back, talking me down from something.
It'd be making you mad too. It's like something so simple, and it's got you locked.
It's kind of the difference between playing music and being an artist. And the artistry shows out. The artistry comes out.
Yeah.
The virtuosity in folks comes out in the simple things, and how musical you can make the simple things sound.
Yeah.
It's just random little triplets in these phrases. All the little inflections. And then you're gonna finish with that, huh? That's how you feel.
The car was me as well.
Okay.
Like you've got this one part of you that watches out for you, keeps you steady. And this other part that's raging, full of anger. Like old Lou and the crazy dude in the dream. But they're all a part of it.
All right, bassist. Sweet, that's sweet writing.
I think of it
This part right here,
The dragon is
very underrated.
and if you don't watch out, he'll bite you hard. See, Lou knows about the dragon. He's there to set you straight. You don't try to kill the dragon. You want to make friends with it, harness its power so you can use it. It's just, yeah.
Killing his B flat.
Sweet visual. Oh my gosh, so good.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, we alluded to it. It's when we say simple, we're talking simple as far as like DCI terms. Simple. Like, don't think we saying it's easy and my third grader can do this. No, but like,
right? No,
the argument that you heard most of the season was, or not the argument, but the thing you was hearing a lot, especially when it came to Boston, like their book is so much harder than everybody else's. And to me, like, listening to the Bluecoats, and hearing that stuff is, while that might have been true, and on some aspects, like the amount, how they made that stuff sound, like everything that they, every time they hit the drummer, every time they hit the mallet, it was virtuosic. Like it had a purpose. It was taking us somewhere. It was doing what it needed to do for that particular show. Just, I mean,
it can be hard to say because sometimes you don't want to say there's no group that's not doing something musical. Everybody's doing everything musical, and it's music done, whatever.
He's like, no.
It's like, I don't agree with that. But no, but it's also evident, the differences between Bluecoats, if we're going to compare Bluecoats to Boston, of difficulty and stuff like that. In my opinion, I thoroughly believe Bluecoats is more musical than Boston, and I believe Boston is definitely more difficult than Bluecoats. But that doesn't mean both of them don't have difficulty and both of them aren't being musical.
Yeah. And don't get it twisted. You can play an aggressive show like Boston had and be very musical and be very virtuosic. Like that is a thing that you can do.
Yeah.
I just think Bluecoats, for what it's worth, maximized on the opportunity of that every single second of that show. There was never a lull in performance, never a lull in quality, and everything that was put on paper was on purpose, and then every bit of that performance was done on purpose. Like,
and I think on a lot of terms, I think that's why a lot of groups get so upset about SCV.
They do the same thing
sometimes because they're a part of that boat. It's the same thing. They're a part of that boat, and people have to understand that sometimes that is way more effective than having all of those harsh notes and what's up. Because Boston, while everything was fantastic and difficult, whatever, it's very one-sided. It's a lot of one. So you've got the battery taking a lot of focus away. And I challenged a lot of people. I was like, what's your favorite front ensemble apart from Boston show? What part of Boston's front ensemble stuck out to you the most? If you can name more battery parts than you do the front ensemble, you can see where your focus lies. But sometimes if your focus is, mixed between the two, and you can give some perspectives on both ends, either you're just somebody who notices more and has more appreciation for that, or, maybe you are one-sided about certain things. So and everything is a preference as well, because sometimes it's going to be hard for more, I should say, your primary instrument is what? Snare drum. You're probably not going to watch the front ensemble because you're a snare player. And I think the same thing is like, okay, if you're in color guard, you're probably going to watch the rifles instead of the flag line. If you're on weapons, so it's kind of stuff like that. And how often do you venture off to other sections other than your main section? If you're in color guard, are you watching the trumpets? So
yeah.
But it's just a lot to understand and how and why certain groups win so much and this, that, and the other. And that's why I mentioned SCV, because when you're talking about the Sanford and everything, that's why SCV is,
I mean, they've been running it the past
killing the game in that, but
several years.
They killing the game at it. Yeah, and I think these groups know, even BD knows that if you're going to want the Sanford, that's who you got to go through. And it's the same thing with everybody. For the rest of the core, if you want to win, you got to go through BD. So,
but no, that was a very well put together ensemble. Like, and that was kind of the thing that stuck out to me, was even when sections were being featured, the whole ensemble had their back. It was really more like, instead of, hey, it's my turn, it was, hey, it's your turn.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's your turn to shine. Yeah. Let us be your pips. You're Gladys Knight. We're going to be the pips right now. And everybody had their moment. Yeah. Every section, every part of every section had a moment. And when they got it, they took care of it. They took charge. So when you had those full ensemble moments, it just worked, and it just worked together. So, like, to me, that's a pretty flawless program right there. Like, it was hard, and you can probably see why maybe it wasn't winning as early, because some of that stuff is hard, man. That front ensemble looks not easy. Lining up all that stuff, battery front to back, it's not easy. But everything had its place, and everybody did their job. Every player, every arranger, every technician, everybody did their job to make that happen. And kudos to the Bluecoats percussion staff for allowing that to happen, because that's probably going to be one of my top favorite percussion groups of all time.
It's in there, without a doubt. It's in there.
So shout out to Blue. But we're going to get ready to wrap it up. But let us know what you thought about the Bluecoats Percussion Ensemble, how they finish, and, what was your favorite part of their shows and all that good stuff. We'd like to hear it. If you got any ideas of who else to watch, let us know down in the comments below. And hit us up on all of our social medias, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, as well as listening to podcasts on Anchor.fm and Spotify. So, I'm not going to hold you too much longer, but for William, this has been Cedric. This has been our, I don't know what number we're on. I don't even know if we're on the number anymore. But, but this has been an episode of Perc Talk featuring the Bluecoats Percussion Ensemble during finals week. So, you guys take care of yourself. Take care of one another. Hit on some stuff, but not people, because that's mean and hurtful and illegal. Yeah, you can go to jail for that. You can. So, all right, guys, take care. Peace.
Yeah.